Now, I don't know what was more difficult, getting into this book or deciding how I was going to break this into individual little sections, but let's find out. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back to talk a little Malazan as we're rolling along through the channel read along with Midnight Tides. Now, this is going to be for part one of this spoiler talk series I do. I always do it in the half and half, at least now, before these books start hitting like 1,200 pages, I think they get to. We're just dealing with 1,000 here. But this is going to be spoilers for the prologue through chapter 11. That's book 1, Frozen Blood, and book 2, Prows of the day. So if you haven't read those yet, I urge you to please, if you're continuing to read the series, I don't know why you'd be here if you're not, but I urge you to please read that first. Come back to this video afterwards if you haven't, because yeah, I'm going to spoil the hell out of it. But it doesn't mean I'm going to give you all the answers you want, because, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the tally. Over or under 10 times, I say. I don't know. I'm going to say the over. But who knows? Let's get into it, guys. Let's begin. I'm going to kind of break it up like this. I'm going to talk about the prologue first, because that's just kind of like all these random characters here. But then I'm going to break it up into groups of the Bedek brothers. I'm going to do the Saren and Baruch as a group, the Letheri slaves, and the Singar bros. They're kind of the end. I kind of want to break up the bros here, because this is very much this is a bros book, I think you say. Yeah, a bros book, but not kind of like brah, that kind of bro. Anyhow, I'm really stretching it here, guys. So for the prologue here, this is set during the time of the Elder God. So that was already like, all right, well, we're not going like 180,000 years in the past like I think we would. I think it was 180,000 years. I actually might have been like 300,000 years. I don't know. It feels like it's been that long since I read that book. And in fact, I can't remember which one that is. Is that Memories of Ice that starts like that? Man, we're really off to a roaring start here, aren't we? But we can see the kind of like the last alliance between elves and men, right? Now between the Tists, we got the Tist Eater, the Tistiandes, kind of like their alliance. They're getting together here to get rid of the Kachane Shamali, and I was excited. Look, hey, all right, getting back into some more Kachane. You're getting some more keychain tamales now. No, it's just just this. At least thus far in this book, it's just this quick little mention here in the prologue, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But then Scabandary Blood Eye shows that Scab is an appropriate name, because he go ahead and he just dirty, low down, rotten, no good son of a gun goes ahead and just stabs Silchus Ruin in the back here, and basically says, you know what, hey, my enemy, the enemy of my enemy was my friend, but hey, now that my enemy, now that enemy is gone, well, this friend here, yeah, they're pretty weakened. We can just go ahead and take them out now. That's kind of what he goes for, and that kind of is where we really leave with that. Then we move to 1159, which I got my timelines all mixed up here. I think this is about, I want to say that this is about 4 years before Deadhouse Gates, but I do think that Guardians of the Moon started, I think, in 1154 of Burn Sleep. I don't know. I'm not positive on that timeline, but I do know obviously this isn't taking place in order, obviously, because you got Troll in this one, and he hasn't been exiled yet. So obviously, even if you're not looking really closely at the dates, you know that this takes place before what we saw in the last book. Seems like a really interesting narrative choice, but Stephen Erikson's a multi-million, book-selling author, and I'm just a guy with Wi-Fi, so obviously he's doing something right. Let's go ahead and talk about the Bedek bros here. I think it's the best way to kind of do this, to kind of break it up. I'd have to say that Bryce, I'm saying Bryce. I know some people are saying Breeze, some people are saying Briss. I'm saying Bryce. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at like that Song of Ice and Fire way, where he has like these normal names, but they're spelled weird, like Jamie and things like that. So I'm kind of looking at it like that. So I'm going to say Bryce. I really like the part with the God. What do they call them? Jesus Christ, Dolmen? Is that what they call them? The things underneath the water, where you see the Guardians like protect the Guardian of the Names. He has to fight with the Guardian of the Names, and they're fighting like underwater. I wonder if that sword fight was it like slow motion, like in that movie Top Secret. Has anybody seen that movie besides me? I doubt it. But I was just kind of thinking, hey, are they fighting in slow motion right now? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, because hey, Bryce is breathing under the water right now. But I like that he showed mercy on this thing. I don't know about him going like full on like drink for me and live forever Lestat style there. But hey, he does a good job, and he saves this guy. Says he's going to remember all those names for him, so those guys' names won't be forgotten. Yeah, that's where it starts getting deep for me on things like this, guys. And I'm like, I'm running out of room in this filing cabinet up here. So I've gotten to that point with this series where if I don't think I need to remember that name right now, it'll come back up if it's important. So I was like, I'm not fitting a bunch of these names in here. I don't think it really goes through every single name on there. I think there's like, it specifically says there's like an unnamed one. So really cool scene. I really like that a lot. I think that Bryce is kind of a little bit over his head in the game of houses. You know, I think he's not like a simpleton or nothing, but when the people are really starting to get really, really into the politics, he's like, all right, I'm going to go sharpen my blade or something like that. But then we got Hull, and I mean, Hull seems like he's really just in the story to kind of start shit. You know, I mean, he's got a past with Saren. So I'm sure that there's something going to be started there. You know, they used to be lovers. But he just wants to get this war started with the Eater. And I mean, hey, cool. Good for you. You're trying to start a war or whatever. But outside of that, I don't have a lot. I mean, he might have more in the back half of this book. But as far as this first half, I really just feel like he was just kind of here to, you know, I'm going to start some shit, really. So we'll see with that. Here's probably where most people are going to turn this off. To Hull and Bug, I'm gonna be honest, guys, the humor isn't hitting me like it's hitting everybody else. Everyone else in the Discord is like, they're hilarious every time they're on screen. I don't know. I mean, look, they're not quite as annoying as like, they're not annoying at all. I don't find them annoying at all. I just don't find them hilarious like everyone else. I mean, you see, they're not quite like as obnoxious with the humor like Bochel and Corporal Broach was, or thank Jesus, thank baby Jesus, not like Krupp, you know. So I'm not really saying it's anything like that. I don't know, I'm not laughing out loud like everyone else is apparently reading these characters. I don't have anything wrong with the characters or whatever. I'm not really laughing at the humor. People are saying like, oh, maybe you just don't like Erikson's humor. I'm like, well, I disagree. I like Tool's humor quite a bit. Tool made me laugh just about every time he said something. So maybe it's just different types of humor. I don't know. I think it's just with this series, I feel like I'm just down in the muck so much. I don't really feel like laughing. You know, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Trust me. I don't like feeling like the old codger when everybody's saying that everything is hilarious. And I'm just like, I don't find Krupp hilarious. Iskrull Puss doesn't bother me as much, but I don't find him funny. And then the B and KB, I didn't find them funny in the least. So trust me, I don't like feeling like the grumpy old man sitting on his porch telling you to get off his lawn with this humor stuff. I wish I was finding it more funny. But as far as the characters go, it's cool. It's cool. I mostly enjoy, I think, Shirk and Kettle out of that whole storyline there. But the zombie porn stuff, that's a big miss for me. That's going to be a no for me, dog. I'm not really feeling that at all. Look, guys, again with the humor, I stopped finding dick jokes hilarious in the 90s. Now, I think that these books are about 20 years old at this point, right? So I get that, you know, hey, some things are going to work for some people, not. But me, it was like, was he watching a lot of Kevin Smith movies at the time or something? So the dick jokes are kind of missing me. The zombie porn stuff, no, not so much. And to Hull and Bug, I'm not laughing like everyone else is, but I think the storyline's fine. So maybe that'll kind of grow on me over time. I don't know. I wish I was enjoying the humor with them as much as everyone else is. Right now, I'm just like, they're fine. I'm just not, you know. Anyway, I guess I could just try to force it, but I can't wait to see Garen Ebericht. Is that how you say his name? I can't wait to see him get his, because, man, what a slime balls. This dude basically, from what I gathered, okay, so he saved the king from an assassination, right, that he set up. So obviously he did this to just, now he's just got carte blanche to do whatever he wants, and he just like murdered like 30-something people. And he's got a zombie brother? I don't... Yeah, I can't. I mean, when they were robbing him later on, I was like, it's not, he deserves so much more. But I think that we'll see more with that character going forward. But yeah, that right now, that's the one that's just like, God, what a scumbucket. I can't really stand him. Saren and Baruch, I think this is going to be one that you have a little bit more a little later on, I think, in this book. Right now, I feel like Saren's just kind of there to be that the audience, to be like the eyes, like when you're having like these big political meetings, so you don't get the POV of one of those real sides there. I think that's kind of what they're doing, to kind of see it through their eyes. So yeah, same with Saren and then with Baruch. You know, for the longest time I was like, is this the same Baruch from Guardians of the Moon? And then I was like, was his name Baruch? Or this is Baruch and that one's Baruch. I don't know, guys. These names are way too simple. Like I was like, is there an Osric and an Osric? Steve. Damn it. Yeah, so you get those kind of things like that. But yeah, like I said, not a lot to really talk about with those sections yet, because, you know, I feel like I said, I feel like they're just, you know, the wants to be there to observe and let you know kind of what's going on. So I expect a lot more with Hull, with Saren, with Baruch in the back half of this book. Because right now I feel like they really are just kind of, characters here to kind of move that plot forward. So let's move along to the Letheri slaves here. Now I'm saying Letheri. I'm hearing everybody on the Discord had a different way to say it. I'm saying Letheri, so hey, cool. I love some of the intricate names that Steven Erikson has come up with in this series. Animander Rake, Kaladin Brood, Corbolo Dom, Sormo Enath. These are amazing fantasy names, right? Well, it's only topped by Feather Witch. Feather Witch. I'm still iffy on the whole holds and tiles thing. What I would say is okay, is this like their version of the deck of dragons and warrens? And I asked that question on the Discord, and half the people said yes, and then half the people said no, and then they gave an explanation that was even more confusing. So it's just like the deck of dragons. I'm just kind of gonna be like, just roll with it. Just roll with it. I'm trying so hard, guys, with the roll with it stuff. I mean, look. Full disclosure, anyone that's on the Discord know this. Yeah, the first 200 pages of this, I was very, very frustrated with this book again. And here's the thing is, I don't know why you guys keep being surprised. I'm frustrated at the beginning of every one of these books. But what do I always say? By book 2, it usually takes off. And that's what happened in this book, right? So I wish people would quit. They would just let me vent. Let me vent. When I'm first getting into another continent and 400 new characters again, I wish they would just kind of let me vent and just get these things out of me the right way, and then be like, hey, you know what? Well, he's going to end up liking it now. House of Chains, it never actually ended up happening, but House of Chains started really good, so I don't know if that argument is valid there, but I knew way too many people are high on this book for me to say I was not going to like it. But yeah, at first it was like, okay, I like the Singar family. Everything else in this book is just really just too much. And anyway, I'm going to get back onto the topic here with the Letheri slaves. I'm still iffy on those things. I'm kind of learning to roll with it. Like I said, it's very hard for me to do that as someone who has had a way of reading fantasy their whole life. And now you're telling me, if you don't understand everything, that's fine with it. Just go with it. That's a hard thing to let go of, guys. And I feel like I get better with it each book, but it's really hard at the beginning because I want to understand so much at the beginning. Because I'm like, okay, I've got all these characters. I'm not moving on to the next chapter until I know who each character here is. And with the Letheri stuff, there was too many of them. I just could not memorize all those people up front. So I said, okay, just roll with it. But back to Feather Witch here. This chick is definitely more than just some Letheri slave, right? She's got a past. She has to be someone important because she got a little power there. I think a stranger comes to town is going to be like, yeah, hey, what are you doing here? And then we're going to get this whole backstory on her maybe. I think that something like that might have happened, and I don't know. Hey, there's an I don't know. There's an I don't know for you, but this is what I knew early. I was like, okay, I'm back in Malazan, guys. When an invisible demon bird thing tries to carry her off, it's like, what in the world is going on right now? But really cool. I got to see Udnas really, just they think he takes a net hook to it or something like that, starts slicing it up, and he gets all jacked up. Now Udnas, anytime I think Erikson needs to unload some exposition on us, that's the point, man. It's kind of like Tok in Memories of Ice. Tok the Younger kept getting all the information overload that you kind of got with visions and stuff. You get a lot of that here, guys. And look, I'm going to tell you, if you guys are with me on the read along and you're coming here for me to explain all that stuff that Udnas sees, no, why would you come here to me? I have no idea. Go to Iskar. Go to Iskar's channel. If you guys don't know about Iskar, go to Iskar's channel. He'll probably be able to explain all that stuff to you. Because me, I'm like. And I just let it. I just sitting there having a drink, just watching it fly over my head. I'm fine with that. Because I didn't get half of that stuff. But again, I think if it's important, it'll come back around. But look, that whole Tist family tree, guys, I gave up trying to figure that thing out 2 books ago. So if there's a non-spoiler way to do that, I know that the guys from 10 Very Big Books apparently have like a flow chart or something. Somebody posted it on the Discord, and it was very funny. Pete just kind of drew hidden marker and stuff. It was kind of funny, but I didn't actually look it over. So I might actually go back and do that. But anyway, just kind of let that stuff kind of go. So Udnas makes some really weird decisions. So he's in love with Feather Witch, obviously, but he's reasonable enough to be like, you know what? That's never going to happen. So hey, not going to push the issue. So you think, okay, this guy's level-headed. Oh, no, then he makes a deal with a shadow wraith named Wither. Yeah, no big deal there. Hey, just let me use your shadow. No, why not? No big deal. Hey, by the way, could you go ahead and dig up this ancient relic for me? It's fine, I swear. There's nothing going to come out. So he goes and digs up this arrowhead, which is going to be really big, I think, here in the future. So it's fine. It's fine. Fine. But, hey, you know what? Okay, how about a little equality, guys? We had to make this big deal in Dead House Gates, and this big deal in House of Chains about sexual assault and rape in this book. And now that it has happened to a male character, I don't hear all the complaints. Hey, it's not okay. No means no, okay? And look at that. Honestly, though, I don't know if that actually happened. I don't know if he was just tripping balls on Wivel Blood or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm with Featherwitch. I don't even know if it actually happened, dude. But again, I am seeing a lot of... I don't see all the outrage about this male character getting raped. So, hey, priorities, guys. No means no. I think the part where it's really going into detail with him prepping Roulad's body after he's killed, and it's like, wow, okay, this is a really interesting thing. I mean, hey, cool, nobles, they cover themselves in wax and use the gold coins and all that. But then he, oh, by the way, he's still alive, which I'll get to here in a second. But what really, because I want to talk about that before we get to the Roulad parts, because that's going to be the meat of this episode, obviously. So it's one of those things. It's like I don't say that. Okay, hey, they treat their slaves really good because they are slaves. You know, I don't think they. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're beating them all the time or anything like that. I mean, I think Featherwitch gets beat by someone at one point. Maybe, whoever Fear's betrothed's name is. I forget her name at the moment. But anyway, what I'm saying is like when he's trying to comfort Roulad, when he realizes he gets the thing, he's like comforting him like a baby. That's so adorable. So I think it's one of those kind of things. He's been around the family for a while, you know, and he's probably watched these kids grow up a little bit. You know, honestly, if it says how long he's been serving the family, I just forgot or just missed it, guys. It's going to happen. The first half is like 480 pages. I might have missed it somewhere in there, but I don't know. That was something that kind of stood out to me, kind of endeared me to the character a little bit, even though that's before we knew that Roulad is a fucking monster. But let's go ahead and talk about those Singar bros, because, guys, this is by far my favorite part in this book so far, is this family and this whole storyline with these characters here. Look, the Warlock King, yeah, that's not just a clever name. This dude has zero good intentions, and I think that's obvious from the front. I'm still not convinced that he did not send the Singar bros off on that little journey because he wanted them out of the way. And it's like, yeah, I know he wanted the sword, because I kind of got pushback about that. Like, why would he send he wants the sword? Why would he send people there? He wants to die. He wants a sword, but, you know, he also is like, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings any if, you know, if a couple of them got kind of knocked out on the journey. You know, one of them does get knocked out on the journey. Another one, you know, breaks his hip or something like that, like some 80-year-old backup dancer. But hey, it's just one of those things. He wants a sword, and if he loses one of the Singar bros while that's happening, hey, bonus, why not? That's one less problem he's got to worry about here in the future. And I think the one that he wanted to die is the one that did die. But hey, it's all kind of conjecture, I guess, at this point, because it took me a while to keep the brothers outside of Troll really separate at first, because I was like, God damn, what's his name? What's the fourth brother's name? Benatus? Yeah, Benatus. Okay, so he's like this badass sorcerer, right? But yet, when we're fighting the Jack, it's like, where were you at in that one, dipshit? It didn't seem like you were doing a ton out there. I don't know. Fear is betrothed to Mayan. I feel like that's what he's more known for. It is Mayan, right? I think it's Mayan or Mabin. Mayan? Maib? No, it's definitely not the Maib. Again, I feel like Fear's more known for being betrothed to Mayan, really, than we know much about him yet. So I was having a hard time kind of differentiating those bros, except True Lad. I knew True Lad because he was always creeping on Fear's girl. And that was like, dude, that's not okay. And everybody's kind of bringing it up, and Fear's just like, whatever, you know, it's just my little bro, whatever, it's no big deal. It turns out it is a big deal, and you're going to find out here. So I spend the first half of this book feeling bad for Roulad. I'm not going to lie, because, and let me tell you why, guys. I was a little brother. My brother was 6 years older than me, and all I wanted to do, I strived to get his approval. All I wanted was a validation from my older brother, and I feel like that's what he's doing here. Like, so that's why he picks up this sword, is he wants to just, you know, he wants to be included. You know, he already feels bad because he fell asleep while the watch and all their supplies got stolen while they slept during this trip. But you know, then he's like, okay, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to save my brother's lives here, and you know, and then he gets turned into Swiss cheese. You know, so I did. I felt bad for him. I felt as bad for him as Troll feels about it. But this is the part where I make the Malazan veterans angry, because, yeah, he died. I felt bad, but I was like, yeah, well, we'll see him again in another book probably, because that's what the series does. Death don't mean death in the series. Little did I know it's going to be the next fucking chapter, but these things happen. Yeah, the twist with True Lad here is very, 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 very surprising to me. I believe the crippled god, and was that a flashback, or was that when he died, when he washes up on the shore, and he sees the Withel guy that he got to make the sword for him? Was that a flashback, or did that happen then? Because he's telling them, I believe he's saying like, oh, every time you die, you'll get stronger. And I'm like, well, that's a weird way to level up, but okay. Was that happening before or after this? I don't know if like that was like an out of body kind of experience. I don't even know where the crippled god is. Is he like within time or outside of time or something? I don't even know what's going on there. But obviously, I realized that, okay, so this sword is the one that he wanted Withel to make in the prologue, correct? I believe. So I thought it was really creepy that the sword was like stuck in his hand. They couldn't get it off. And the Warlock King's like, if I could just cut his hands off. And Mom was like, the hell you will. Or whatever. I thought that was really, really spooky. But I bet they're all regretting it now. Because after he does come back into consciousness, and he's just a nightmare, like Polka Dot Man with the coins. It's like, oh my God, this is just like horrifying, him waking up with that. And, he talk about like the coins could like suck his eyeballs out if they're done wrong and stuff. It's just messed up stuff. So this guy's like permanently walking around looking like the Iron Bank now, right? So this is something else. But, he turns to a shit quick. I mean, this guy gets a little bit of power, and all of a sudden, shit, everyone on the planet needs to bend the knee to me. I'm the emperor now. And I was surprised that I thought for sure that the Warlock King was going to get run through here. I think he was like the second or third one to bend the knee here. So really surprising. Really, really surprising. I mean, I was stunned with Chapter 11, guys. But I'm gonna go on record here and say Chapter 11 of Midnight Tides is the best chapter I have read in this entire series so far. It was so good. That's the kind of twist I have been waiting for books now. It was so good. So good. I love that whole moment, and I could not stop thinking about it all day. That's why I'm doing this video early, guys, because I want to continue with this. Now I like to record this before I start the next half. And I wanted to get this out now because I wanted to talk about these things so I could continue with the story, because I've been thinking about this chapter all day. Stopping right there was very, very difficult. But yeah, just spectacular stuff. And that's why I wanted to talk about it last year. So Rulad, that is not what I expected out of this character at all. I've always seen that very, very gorgeous art. Back when I did my Why I Decided to Read Malazan video, and there's that art of him in a throne room on a throne with the long sword, like looking down. I always love that. Now that I know who that character is, it makes it even cooler. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where that goes. I did not think, obviously I think True Lad is going to end up being a very prominent character the rest of the series, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And of course with Troll, the big thing here is, guys, Troll didn't move the needle for me at all in House of Chains. I never really cared. Now I really like Troll, and I want to know what in the hell he does to get in that shitty situation that he's in the prologue of House of Chains. I mean, I'm imagining he's going to piss True Lad off, but I don't know, True Lad being like, oh yeah, by the way, Fear, your girl is mine now. And he's like, okay, man, it's just dark. This guy went to just became a tyrant, like overnight, just like that, So, hey, these are the kind of twists that I'm here for, and I'm certainly enjoying this. Look, there's a lot of the book I'm still not understanding. I'm not going to lie. This one was very frustrating again at the beginning, which I said, I understand why everyone says on a reread, this will make more sense, because, yeah, I look back on the stuff that I was frustrated with in the beginning now, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, not so bad. It's just like at Covian all over again, and I figured it would be. I keep telling these people in the Discord, don't get so mad. It's just me venting when I say this. Stop telling me, oh, well, if you don't like this, you might as well quit the series, Apparently, if you don't find Tehol and Bug like hilarious, you might as well quit the series. So, hey, it is what it is, right? But a lot of the Letheri court politics is still confusing just due to the overwhelming number of new characters dealing with, then you got like the king and the queen kind of got like their own kind of like inner war going on here, and they both got like a consort or a concubine. So it's so many characters, so much going on. I'm not going to say I perfectly understood all of it. I am just saying I am surprised with the amount of imperial politics in this, because I don't feel like he's really gotten. I mean, this is some real like Dune or George R.R. Martin level politics here. So I'm really liking kind of the where it's going there. It's just I'm saying I'm not sure I understood every character, and that's something that I think that, hey, yeah, if you did reread these parts, it'd probably make more sense as you get to know more and more of these characters. But look, a lot of the exposition, guys, it's still word salad for me. There's a lot of stuff I don't get, like the Nerek. He starts going into like the Nerek and what they were born of and stuff. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Why am I getting like their backstory now? You know, so these are the things that you just kind of learn to roll with Malazan. You just got to kind of be like, hey, you know what? If it's that important, Erikson's going to bring it back around again. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it. Or if I really need help, I'll reach out to AP or Philip or somebody like that and be like, hey, can you help me out with this? And they'll always say yes. And then they'll do it in a way that don't spoil things for me. So they're probably just going to tell me, hey, read and find out, right? Because that's the way to do it. But overall, I am really enjoying this. Way more enjoyable than the last book. Last book just so much felt like it just wanted to wallow in its own misery. And in this, yeah, you have characters that are like depressed and stuff, but the storyline's good enough that I'm really into it and things like that. So just a very nice change of pace, and that's what everybody told me, that, you know, this is almost feels like kind of not the reset as much as like the final cog before everything clicks into place, because apparently book 6, guys, did you know that book 6 apparently is where the series gets easier to understand? So I'm doubting it, but hey, I am excited kind of where it's going. I never expected to be this invested in the Tist Eater. I was always more interested in the Tist-Andi because Break is a badass, right? I want to know more about them. I love Corlat and people like that. But I'm really interested in the Eater now. So he's doing his job there. So I'm excited to see where we go with Emperor Disco Ball here. Thank you, Medic, for that nickname. Is that our Polka Dot Man? I might be sticking with Polka Dot Man because I did watch the Suicide Squad this past weekend. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it's going because, like I said, Chapter 11, I think that's the best moment that I've had in any of these books so far. And that's awesome. That's awesome. I hope he can keep up this pace for the second half of the book. And so, guys, what'd you think about the first half? Drop in the comments and let me know. But please do not talk about anything past book 2 of Midnight Tides, because there are going to be other first-time readers down there in the comments, and I would like them not to get spoiled, and obviously I'd like myself not to get spoiled. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you there.